probably because of the what is this now?
Thank
Probably
you.
because of the internet. I don't know, suddenly.
Oh,
Okay. Anyway. Okay. You can see we are all here. Okay. May I speak? May I continue?
Yes, we can say.
Okay, thank you. I was, I don't know if it is recording or not recording. Can you see if it on your screen if recording?
Yeah, it's recording.
yeah, it does.
Okay. Well, I was speaking about the starter flats, which is a soft flat made with a wooden frame covered with a lightweight fabric. And I say it is canvas or muslin maybe, but normally is canvas, stretched very well over around the frame, tightly over it. Ideal for creating painted backdrops or walls due to its smooth surface. This is the cheap way to make a flat. The second flat is a Hollywood flat or hard flat. This is better. Made with a wooden frame covered with rigid material like plywood, Novopan, hardboards, or MDF, or this kind of wood. Sturdier and more durable than standard flats, often used for structures requiring more stability, such as doorways or windows or whole walls with the fireplaces and things like that. And the third one we can mention, it is the studio flat, similar to Hollywood flat, but often built with a thicker framing for greater durability and the ability to hold heavier elements. Used in films and television studios where set pieces need to withstand more frequent handling and repositioning. Okay, flats and materials. They are constructed with goods. We will speak about the second, the Hollywood flat. First, the frame, the skeleton of the flat. You can see here on the image what I mean about the skeleton, about the frame. Well, this is normally with wood, of course. Commonly, 1 to 3 or 1 to 4 fat with pine wood or other kind of woods is used for the frame due to its strength and weight. Or maybe they can make it by metal, occasionally, or used for frames requiring extra strength, such as aluminium or steel. Now, the covering material. If we prefer to use fabric, we will use canvas or muslin. Is used for standard flats, chosen for its smooth texture and ability to be painted or treated. If we want to have rigid panels, we will use plywood or MDF or hardboard and all these for Hollywood flats, providing a solid surface that can be drilled, cut, and painted. We need also other materials for this. Okay, screws, staples, or nails to use to join the frame pieces and everything, and also glue, often used in conjunction with mechanical fastener to secure the fabric or the rigid panel to the frame. Let's see a short video. Well, I know that it is not in your responsibility to make all this for the stage designer. It is the technician's role to do this, but a stage designer must know how can be made things like that and what tools we use in a procedure of construction like this. Let's see a video and you will understand.
Good afternoon, YouTube. Today I need to make some stage flats for a friend of mine, and I'm going to show you the quickest, easiest and cheapest way I know how to make stage flats. So let's go. Okay, so the quickest way I know how to do it is we've got our two uprights like so, cross pieces like so. For this flat we're building it 2 meters 20 high, so we're going to have probably 2 cross pieces, 2 45 braces like that, and then instead of having mortise and tenon joints and shoes going across here, I'm just going to cut some 3mm ply and stick them across here. It's quicker and easier. The serge that we have to cover these is 1.5 meters across. Divide that by 3, then we get, I did the maths earlier on, it's 733 here. So that'll make 1466. So let's do that. I've got some 3x1 over there, which we're going to make it out of, and the offcuts we'll use to make the 45-degree braces, and also we need to make 2 of them. Also need to make a cutting list. So
this is not only for you, in order to know what will you do on the stage. It is also for technicians. Very detailed notes. And he knows what to do.
4 times 1500. 4 times.
This is the way we work, normally.
60. 4 times 2160 for the uprights, and then the 45s we will use offcuts. Right, cool. Let's get going.
Now it's in time lapse. He made the frame now. He made triangle things in order to put behind and to be stable. And now he will put the fabric. and he put a thing like this with the weight up there in order to be
Easiest and cheapest way I know to make theatre masking
vertical.
flat. There are other ways to make theatre masking. If there's a better way to make one, then leave a comment underneath the video.
Okay,
give
thank
a
you very
thumbs up,
much, sir.
subscribe to my channel, and I hope
And yes. So what did you what do we see about the construction methods? To building the frame at first, we measure and cut the wood to the desired dimension of the flat, typically making sure the sides are square. Lay out the pieces of the flat surface and join them using corner blocks, triangular pieces of plywood and keystones. And third, rectangular pieces of plywood for added stability, attached with the screws or the nails. Well, after that, we can attach the covering. For soft flats is a stretch fabric, and for the hard flats, cut the rigid panel to size of the frame and attach it in using screws and nails, as I told you. And finally, we finish the flat with the painting and treatment, apply a coat of primer before to prepare the surface for painting. And after the primer, we paint the flat to match the design of the set using techniques like faux finishing or texturing. In this case, we mixed sometimes the paint with many materials like soil or sawdust or things like that in order to give specific form to this. If we want to be a wall, or if we want to be something outside of a castle, something stony or whatever. We will see in a while other things, and you will understand what I mean, because we will speak about foam and props. Detailing after that the flat, adding any necessary details such as trim and molding or additional structural elements like window or doorways in order to make the inside, the indoor of the scenery of the stage design we want to make. And now, how we will mounting and stability of the flats, how flats work in theater performance. First, mounting and stability, bracing first. Flats are often braced with the jacks or stage brushes, which is ankle to support, to keep them upright and stable during the performance. With securing them, flats can be screwed or bolted to the stage floor downstairs or with other set pieces for additional stability. Modularity. Flats are designed to be modular and easy to move, allowing for quick changes between scenes. Well, interaction into the set design. A flat can be combined in various configurations to create rooms, to create building or abstract shapes. Their lightweight construction make them easy to transport and this is crucial for touring production or quick set changes. The aesthetic flexibility, it's big for flats, because flats provide a blank canvas that can be painted and decorated to match any set design, from realistic interior to fantastic landscapes. And flats can be constructed with functional elements like doors, like windows, like cutouts, allowing actors to interact with the set seamlessly. Let's now we will see now another video about the stability of the flat.
Okay, this is how to put up a flat, two flats together. Bring it in here. So what's ideal?
Look at
Is
this triangle.
the client
It
has
is
got a
to
frame
be-
that cuts off here because that's the two flats. What's
Right.
ideal for these sort of flats is to have a French brace which is flat this side and the other one flat on the other side. So then they stand up like this. Sometimes they do want to shoot off here, so we have to do the flats on the back, which I will go through in just a moment. What we're going to do is we're going to join these two flats at the back, so it gives it stability. So we'll be drilling a screw
This
up
is
there,
two
screw
pieces.
here, screw down the base. But you
screw
want to, and
it
it brings
in
them
order to
together
be
tight.
one
So
flat.
what you want to do is make sure that they're flush, using the other person on the other side hits it in, kicks it in, so this is flush. You start at the top and work your way down. So just tell me if the top is flush.
Yep.
So flush in the middle.
It's bowing a little bit. Push against your left-hand side on the flat. Yep.
What you have is you've got two French braces either side. You're joining these at 3 points down there, but also you want to join the top. This is a chock here. You just need a piece of wood to go across, bridge the two flats. So that keeps it nice and firm. It's really good for corners too if you're doing a corner piece. Make sure a sand tub goes on firmly. You might need 2 sand tubs. So you want a nice, smooth finish here.
Yeah.
The other way you can do it if they don't want the French braces on either side is to go at the back, and I will show that now. That would mean that you would need to have one of these on both flats and you screw in here. It does have the tendency to split, so just watch what you're doing when you're screwing in on these beams. 1, 2 and 1 down here as well. That's if the client does not want the French braces on either side, but this is your most safe way of putting up a flat with the different edges flat on two opposing sides.
Okay. Well, he made many things in the, this is too much. Mostly we put 2 of these elements in order to stabilize this. But if we need, we put more of them. Now, we will speak after that about the platforms. What is this? Well, in theater design, platforms refer to elevate flat surfaces used to create a different level on the stage. These platforms are very common to set design, providing visual interest for the audience, enhancing storytelling and facilitating actor movement. Now, there are, let's speak about the type of platforms in the theater design. There are standard platforms, basic elevate surfaces used to create different stage level. And when we have different stage level, all what the audience can see is more interesting. Because in the stage, we have 2 dimensions, from right to left, from left to right, or from behind in front. But if we have another third distance, which is the high, how tall is this, and make an actor to go up there. It's more interesting for the director and for the actors, and especially for audience, of course. Well, this is the standard platform. Another kind of platform is the racket platforms. Platforms that are angled or sloped, commonly used to create a sense of perspective. We mentioned something for the stage, for the whole stage, to the previous meeting. We already also spoke about the revolving platforms and turntables with details, circular platforms that can rotate, allowing for dynamic scene changes. We can mention now for the modular platform made from prefabricated sections that can be assembled with various other configurations. And we also mentioned the trap platforms when we discuss the trapdoors. Well, we mentioned that what it is. I hope that you remember. It is that elevators who came from under the scene and going up. You remember, of course, and we can put on this platform some other elements, and this is other possibilities that can have to the movement of the actors. Now, construction of theater platforms. Normal material, wood, commonly used for its availability, easy to manipulation, strength. With plywoods is often used for the surface, but this plywood is not thin. It is at less 2 centimeters fat. Well, another thing is the steel or aluminum used for the frame, and more permanent or heavy-duty platforms. But on the surface, it's all the time it is wood. And rarely there are platforms with foam. I never meet something like this with foam or PVC, but anyway, there is sometimes that we use this PVC in order to make lightweight materials used for, well, specialized platform or scenic elements. We can mention something about the tools. Somebody wants to construct a platform, even it is not belong to your field. Okay, it is normal tools, the saws, drills, screwdrivers, measuring tapes, welding equipments for the metal material, the metal frames, paint and scenic materials for finishing and decorating the platform. And we will see now a video that I made in time-lapse to see how is a platform which is movable. It can close and open especially for touring performances, but also if we want to put it some way in another place out of the States, and not to take big distances and large place. There's no sound here.
Yes.
He put this thing in order to be able to close and open. And you will see that how it is the total construction. Okay, this is, I didn't know this word, hinges, is the this metal thing that he put. Well, in tutorials, everything is ideal. When we made it with less details, and it works anyway. But he is a specialist. He wants to make a tutorial, so he made everything there. Measuring, constructing, screwing, everything. To make the longest part of the frame, he put one in the middle in order to not to have this moving behavior of the flat when he put the flat on side. And this is the frame already made it. Now he can fold it. He make a mistake. Okay. He put upside down, and he has to deconstruct this middle thing. And now it's okay. Yeah. And he make now the technicians of the performance, when we have to go touring, open it and put the flats on this and make stages like this on the to every place they want to perform. Okay, now the theater ramps. The theater ramps are inclined platforms also used in stage design to connect different levels, provide dynamic movement pathways for actors, or enable to smooth transition of the set pieces on or props. They are essential for creating variety stages elevation and enhancing the visual and spatial aspects of performance. Theater ramps, what is the purpose? Why we use the ramps? We use them to connect different stage level smoothly, to facilitate movements of actors, set pieces, or props, to enhance, if you want, to visual and dynamic elements of the stage design, to provide accessibility for performance, including those who may use mobility aids, things like a wheelchair, for example. different types of ramps. Yes, we have. We can mention the permanent ramps, fixed structure integrate into the state's design, or temporary ramps, movable and modular ramps used for specific scenes or productions. How can we construct a thing like this? At first, designing and planning, determining the ramp's purpose. For what purpose you want a ramp like this, like that? Define the functional and aesthetic requirement, such as the height difference it needs to cover the load. It must be support, okay, actors or props, and its visual integration with the stage design. We have to the ramps, we have to calculate the slope. A comfortable, from experience, a comfortable or safe slope for walking, for example, is typically between 1 to 12. What I mean? I mean 1 unit of rise for every 12 unit of runs. Or if you want 1 to 20, depending on space and accessibility need or we have. Because if we have a small theater stage, we have not the luxury to have 1.12. Do you understand what I mean about 1.12? It is unit. It is, for example, if the unit is, I say a number of 10 centimeters, if we go 1 unit, 10 centimeters rise up, we have to the ramp, the length, if you want, must be 12, and the next is double. So this is a good, a smooth slope. At first, you have to create a blueprint, draw a detailed plan, including dimension, material, and other structural details. Materials, again, it is wood, plywood, MDF, cardboard, whatever. At first, it is for the frame and the for surface. Many times we use metal. Well, I am a little bit skeptic about the metal, because if we need and put metal to the frames underneath, when an actor will walk on this, there is a very annoying noise. On the contrary, when we have wood, it is good and warm, if you want, noise step by step. Again, we have for fasteners, screws, bolts, brackets, in order to assembly the ramp, and we're covering with non-slip surface, because the actors must step on this. Sometimes the actors dance on this, and they have their step must be secure. Many times we carpeting the surface in order to have good noise about this. How can we build the frame? We cut the material, use saws and screwdrivers and all this, and we build something like this with this construction. Now, it is not a simple ramps just for walking up there. Many times the ramps is like the image you can see. It is a crucial element of the state's designing, aesthetically and technically. First of all, we have to decide for what purpose we want the ramp. I told you. Define the functional and the aesthetic requirement, such as the height, difference it needs to cover, the load it must support, and visual integration with all the other states designing. It's a total thing with the ramps and all the other flats and platforms and everything. Well, to calculate the slope, well, a comfortable and safe slope for walking grab is typically between 1 and 12 or at least 1 to 20, as I told you. Now, the materials. You can see a whole stage designing, very colorful and useful for the actors. I don't know from where is this image, but anyway, that's what I want to underline, that it is the ramps, it's a part many times of the whole stage designing. And now we will see another very short video just to have an experience. He made this very small ramp, but this is more or less the same thing when you have to make something bigger. It's more complicated if you want to make a ramp which is in a circle in order to hang on the stage, as you see to the previous image. Okay. To see if it holds. Okay, yes. Okay, it is safe and we can use it. Thank you very much. Now let's speak about the stairs. It is a construction that we use many times. Designing a stair for theater stage involves several considerations to ensure they are functional, they are safe, visually appealing, and also the design, the technical design and the aesthetic is good. The style of the design of the stairs should align with overall aesthetic of the production of the stage designing. For example, a modern play might have sleek, minimalistic stairs, while a period piece might have ornate wooden steps. The material common, including wood, sometimes metal, well, not very common, and sometimes reinforced plastic, not very common for the theater. The choice depends on the visual requirement and the weight they need to support. About color and finish, the stairs should be painted or finished in a way that matches the set design. In case that the stair is visible from the audience, because there are many times that this is backstage. They might be distressed to look old when it is visible from the audience, and we want to give a shape like this, that it is old stair from previous century, for example. Well, and after that we color and finishing, and with normal colors, and make all the procedures I described for the other elements. Well, the functionality, there is a portability for touring production especially, or shows with multiple set changes. Stairs might need to be lightweight and easy to move. How height and how width is, the stage should be proportionate to the stage and accessible to all performers. They should also accommodate the flow of traffic on stage. Here you can see how a stair can be inside from all the part of the stair that we cannot see. On this thing we will put the step for the actor to step on this and go to the upper level of the stage designing. There are many kind of stairs, and it depends also about the performance we had to do. For example, in musical theater, stairs might need to be wider to accommodate dance routines, with handrails for safety and during the choreography. If we have a drama, the design might be simpler, focusing more on functionality and blending seamlessly with the set. Well, and many times we have in a fantasy performance, stairs could include unconventional shapes, lighting affair downstairs, for example, or futuristic material to match the gender. And now I think the most interesting today, all the other, it is the technician's role to do, but here the stage designer must know better what to do, because it is more artistic. The foam as a material is very common and very useful in the theater. We can make any kind of props, small, big, huge props. All the stage design can be foam, different kind of foam. Foam that it is very strong, or foam which is more light, if you want. Working with foam for theater props is a common practice due to its versatility, lightweight, and easy of manipulation. For example, if we want to make a mountain, a whole mountain on the stage, we can make it with foam. And the actors after that can step on this. Security, with no problem. The first form and structure we can buy and work on. Is like the image. This image here. This one. It's blocks, big blocks, and we work on it as a sculpture. We have to sculpture it. There are many types of foam, as I told you. If we want to name it, is expanded polyester. It's a chemical, it's a chemical material, the foam. This expanded polystyrene is often used for larger props and set pieces due to its lightweight and easy to cutting. We will see videos in a while, and you will see how can we cut it. There are several ways to cut it. Another, it is the extruded polystyrene, making it suitable for more detailed work and props that require a smoother finish. Sometimes things like that we put on the wall in order to isolate our houses from the cold. Another, it is the polyurethane foam, flexible and great for creating props that need to be soft or to be soft. It can be shaped with heat. And the Eva foam, tense and smooth, often used for making armor, weapons, and other detailed props. It is for small props, especially. Where it is, yeah. Now, foam is very common, and as I told you, it's very useful. How can we make it? How we work with it? We need tools and the materials. We will speak about that. Knives, hot wire cutter is this thing here, which with electricity, this part of the tool is heated, and when it's heated, we can cut the foam but very easy and without to make a mess all around. Because you will see in a while in a laboratory that there is a big mess with all these small balls that the foam has. Well, electric carving knife, as I told you, sandpaper, in order to make the shape more smooth, Dremel tool and everything. Foam, about the glues, foam adhesive, specifically designed for bonding foam without melting it. Because if we put glues that have white spirit, for example, the foam is very sensitive and it will be melt. Hot glue work well for quick, strong bonds. Contact cement, yes, it is very, very strong, but it will make the weight more heavy. And it is good for Eva foam. And after that, coating and finishing material. We will see what we mean about coating, because we don't leave the foam naked. We put it there, paper or gas, a very smooth fabric, which make it stable, make it strong, and we can, after painting, we can step on them. Well, how we work with foam, because it is, you can see here how we cut out. You can see also what I mean when I say we must be a little bit sculptural, and this work cannot do by the technician of the theater. It wants a special technician in order, if a stage designer give a model to them, to know how we will make all these things, all this sculpture exactly what the stage designer wants. Yes. Now, about what can I say about the cutting? Basic shape from blocks using your chosen cutting tool. No, nothing more we have to say. Well, you can see this stage designing is all with foam. The rock there, and an actor can step on this, and for the audience it is like a rock. It's very good and very well. It is easy and it is cheap. Yes. Well, I don't know about this distance, but more expensive is to work on this with special technicians, not so much the material. So what I mean that if the stage designer in a low budget productions must make something like this, it is cheap to buy somebody a block of foam and work with this. About painting and detailing, once the surface is smooth, apply a base of coat of acrylic paint. Add details, shading, and texture using smaller brushes and various painting techniques. Seal the finishing prop with a clear coat to protect the paint job. We can adding special features if necessary. Well, as I told you, small dust from the carpenter, or a small pieces of soil downstairs in order to be a little bit more like an earth material. We can use it in, as I told you, in weapons, armors, whatever you can imagine. We can make it by form. It's very, very useful, very common to the theater. But we have to insist on a crucial safety tips. As I mentioned, foam, it is a particularly chemical a material, and we have to avoid some dangerous conditions far from live fire. It's extremely flammable. Ventilation, work in a well ventilated area. It is a chemical material, as I told you, and smells. So breathe with a long time with this. It's not good for our health. Protective gear. Wear a dust mask because the dust is too many when sanding and when carving foam, and use gloves when handling adhesives and paints. When we take glue in order to make all the surface of the foam. The tools, we have to use cutting tools carefully to avoid injuries. A cutting plastic carpet mat can protect your work surface. Now, it is more useful that what I'm saying, and to describe it with words when you will see carefully the videos that I have for you. Look at this.
Hey guys, this is Tim Martin with the Stan Winston School of Character Arts, and today's lesson is going to be prop making with expanded polystyrene, aka white styrofoam. This is an amazing technique to make large props inexpensively, lightweight, without having to use standard mold making and casting.
You see the tools.
You can use styrofoam props for any Halloween project that you're working on, independent film, cosplay, anything that you need to make a big creature lightweight and inexpensive. Everything in expanded polystyrene is subtractive sculpture. So I'm going to do a sketch of the top view and the side view on a block of styrofoam, and then we will subtract from there. Today I'm going to cover
And
the
he
basic
starts
sculpture,
to cut.
mapping out the silhouette. Once the silhouette is done, I'll show you some special sculpting techniques using...
Well, if you sculpt the thing with knives and everything, look what is happening all around on his head, or well, for us who work in a theater, it's really a mess in the theater, and the girls after that, in order to clean all this small thing, it's terrible. It's really terrible. That's why there is that cut knife heating, which is better.
razor blades, wire
You will see in a
brushes,
while.
a Dremel tool, and a heat gun.
Look, the
After your
tools.
skull is done, I'm going to show you how to sculpt teeth
Now he made
individually, map those
the
out so
teeth.
they fit into the sockets, and detail those before they're hard-coated and painted to be glued in individually. Styrofoam is great because you can use it for so many different things. Anything you can think of in a large scale that needs to be lightweight
Well,
and
this is
versatile yet
circus.
inexpensive. I can't express enough how much I love this technique. Styrofoam is awesome. I've been working in it for about 30 years now, and it's one of my favorite mediums. So let's jump right in.
Okay. And the other one is bigger and more detailed.
Here we are, just about to grid up for the large dragon head with Jessica. This is a...
He's not American, he's English, and that's why probably you will not understand very well what he said.
What we're gridding up, it's going to be about 2 meters tall, top to bottom, and it's to go on stage behind the drummer, we believe. And that's the concept image. We have to adapt it a bit just so it's not so wide and not so deep, so that it's more manageable on stage. So, yeah. So this is the preliminary work, just so we can get a rough profile of the front and the sides. So see how it progresses from here.
Our client for this sculpture is Bex Lowe, an independent prop maker and an employee of Merlin. Now, I don't mean some sort of sorcerer's apprentice, that's Merlin Entertainment.
Now, you see, before they made this thing. This is a canvas. This is vertical and horizontal lines on the surface in order to make a good and analog all the shape of the dragon he wants to make. So he made it. It is a technique like the perspective that we mentioned to the previous lesson. We made it every 5 centimeters vertical and 5 centimeters horizontal things in order to compare a small sketch with a big distance and big dimension we want to finally to make.
Now, I don't mean some sort of sorcerer's apprentice, that's Merlin Entertainment, and not the fabled wizard the company is no doubt named after, but on this occasion, we're solely working for Bex as one of her own privately commissioned projects. Bex is actually going to be tackling the fiberglass element of the job, we're going to be providing the polystyrene master carving, and Bex is going to be taking it from there. Later in the process, we'll invite the client down to the studio to take a look at the carving in person and to iron out any problems or areas that need changing. With the polystyrene carving, we need to do everything we can to ensure the fiberglass process can go as smooth as possible later. Our 8x4 by 2 foot billets of polystyrene have been hot wire cut down to size, and the detachable spike elements have been carved to be added when we get further into the process. Now, as well as client meetings, we do get random visitors to the studio from time to time. And just like that, John, you've made it onto the channel. Jess is now going round and marking out all the main curves and features on the dragon shape. It's important to keep referring back to the concept image so that we don't deviate too far from the band's design. Handheld hot wires are used to take off the bulk of the material, steadily working down to nail and wire brushes. We know that the majority of our viewers, and our subscribers especially, love a bit of the carving process. and those that say, yeah, why don't you just get this 3D cut or 3D printed, either haven't crafted something like this by hand before, or, even if they did, obviously didn't get the same joy out of it as we do. Not only does a computerized model of this dragon not exist in the first place, so you would need to have the time and the cost for someone to create that for you, but from our experience, you would also need about triple the time and triple the cost to have this 3D cut. Here, we can keep everything in-house, in control, and in time and budget for the client. Carving for Aidan especially is one of the main reasons that he pursued being a sculptor as a chosen career. Now that the main shape has been blocked out, Aidan and Jess are comparing notes and going through any amendments that might need to be made.
So this is as far as I got with the carving, just getting the main blocky shape out. The only bits we ended up changing was this bit on the front of the nose, simply because we didn't draw it on here, and this is really rounded, whereas if you start looking at the actual drawings, he's got a bit more of a dome on his nose.
This is the
so
cannabis.
Created a bit more of that from the side. We've also made his jaw wider here and here. That will need to come back to there, just so it looks a little bit more like that. It's quite rounded there, and also...
You see, there is a canvas on the sketch, on the paper, the first model that he has in the hands, and a bigger one, which is in analog. They multiple the thing from a small scale to the big, to a big scale.
Here it's much wider.
To 11 o'clock of an evening. I've stayed on at work while everyone else goes home. It's nice and quiet, no radio, no telephone calls, just to see if I can sort of block in this quickly and see if it's taking shape. Front view, see if there's some kind of symmetry happening here, making sure the eye is facing forward as if it's a predator, and trying to really get that about the strike look about it, rearing back and then trying to go forward, and also trying to keep this kind of mechanical sort of facets along here, as well as a bit of organic on the snake itself, and still trying to keep true to the images. That's it there. I believe they're going to try and make the eyes light up and some fire or some steam or something come out through there with a nice metallic finish. That's the whole idea of it anyway, and that's the rough concept. And then we're going to get loads of big spikes in here, but for the moment I'm going to leave all these spikes just out the way so we can get in and carve it and get the general form. So I think we'll work on till about 11:30, see if I can get ahead and see if there's any problems with it. But I think it's taking shape so far.
As you can see, they put other elements from foam, of course, on the main body, teeth, well, feathers, the ears probably, and they put it on there in order to make all the shape. Now he has a sandpaper in his head in order to make more detail all the face of the dragon.
Putting on the final spikes. Let's just go back a little bit, see what we've got. Looks a lot more interesting now with all the thorns on it. Yeah, I think there's a...
You can see in the deep a big, what is this, tomato or zucchini, what is this, whatever. And it is from foam also.
Some layers into the eyes and around the cheekbones up here, which is best done afterwards because of Rebecca fixing on these details. This little bit here and down here and all across the cheekbones need to be done afterwards, I think. And also I think you need to cut the horns off and number them, do the rest of it and then stick the horns back on, because otherwise it's going to be really difficult to do the whole job in one section. So a few more horns to go on the very top. Should look good, finish it off.
Go on, Aidan, get in there. Here we are. All ready for collection for tomorrow?
Yeah. A few little bits here to trim off. That's just where we filled in all the small little holes. We made the whole of the snout come away so that she can get in and do the tongue and the interior of the mouth.
This works out to be beneficial both for Bex's fiberglassing needs to get inside, as well as for transportation, as it means she can save money on a smaller van as the snout comes off and
just
should fit snugly.
Inside a transit van.
Yeah. Inviting the client to the studio, meeting for the first time, and having them see the work properly for the first time is always a beneficial step for us. Naturally, the project can be talked through far easier in person, but what's most important, apart from the sculpture side of things, is that we can get a proper sense for our client and they can get a proper feel for us too. What makes things run smoothly and opens opportunities for more work is a good working relationship. Bex can look around the studio, be judged on what sort of biscuits that she decides to bring down with her, even more judgment if no biscuits are chosen at all, and gotta be honest Bex, I can't remember what biscuits you brought down with you, but hopefully be inspired to commission more work with us in the future. Talking through the next stages of the project here, in regards to the fiberglass work, Bex has had loads of prior hands-on experience with this sort of project. She understands the process and any complications, and it's important that we've helped to make that go as problem-free as possible. We obviously create sculpture for a variety of events, companies and locations, particularly...
So profoundly, he will cover all these with fiberglass, which is very strong. It's almost like a glass. And then the sculpture have no need from the rain or whatever. They can put it outside for many years, and it will be okay, except of the painting and the other details on need about the dirty, the dust, and things like that. Here, it's another video speaking about the last one, speaking about the huge stage designing that many times we need in order to combine everything we learn in these courses. Look at this, it has foam, it has wood, it has flats, everything. Look at this.
As big as the workshop is, it really is never big enough. I mean, we've got a set at the moment. The afterlife is absolutely enormous. I think it's some of the bigger flats are as much as 10 meters tall, and they go full across the width of the.
Sorry, just a moment. I want to put it a little bit.
Littleton stage, which is about 15 meters. So
15
they are immense.
meters
The
high.
current project we've got on the go, which is Afterlife, that is a very, very large set.
Of course, it's
very
the National
big
Theatre
chunks
of
of
London.
scenery, which causes problems
Look at the flats.
for us moving stuff through into the paint frame.
And now the foam.
They're so big, as we build them, it just fills up the workshop, and then the paint frame have the same problem.
Well, look at this. It is a complicated construction, but made by what we mentioned before.
They've got nowhere to work. But it's just a matter of trying to keep the flow through and get stuff out into the rear dock in the Littleton.
meters.
And it's just managing it all the time. And it is very, very difficult. And there are an awful lot of people involved in trying to make that happen.
Just as a draftsman, it does sort of hit you quite often. You're drawing these things up and they don't look very big on your screen at all. And then you see them being built and you think, my God, that's a fair old size.
Well, yes, that's it. I stopped sharing in order to discuss a little bit about. Hello, Joao and Nelinda. They didn't hear me. Hello, I'm speaking to you from Capo Verde. Hello. Anyway, do you have anything to ask or to comment on what we have heard today and what we analyze and approach today?
I would like to. I have an answer. Yes.
Yes, Joanna.
So about the foam, if we end the sculpturing, then okay, the fiberglass is okay, also expensive, and also you have to work with resin and toxic and all this. And I think
No,
that
it's not.
is more.
It's not for the theater. It's not for the theater. Yeah, it is
So,
for huge things, which is more decorating things, not to use about this. Also, the shape. It's not something that it is a little bit like a human body. I mean, with all this softness that we have, the fiberglass. It's shiny, it's like a glass. Okay, if we have to make something, a game park, and we want the dinosaurs, for example, or πώς λέγεται ο Rex, the giant Rex of this, we can make it with fiberglass. This, yes, continue, please. Sorry.
Then to seal the foam, we use glue and paper or gaza, something like that, and then we paint it.
Yes. If yes, if we paint, first we made the sculpture, okay, and then with glue and paper, if there is no somebody who steps on this, because if we step on this, the paper will destroy it. And we will see after a while the foam to get it out. Yeah, collapse. In this case, we use gas, and we put it many layers of gas, not only one, but maybe two, maybe three, maybe four, and when it getting dry, it is strong. We can step on this, but if we have actors who step all the time to the same point, we will have some
Damage.
Yeah, well, some damages. And after that, the technician must go and make a little bit a repair that point. Another material that I never use is the aluminum foil, aluminoharto. You know, the aluminum foil as we have in our kitchen. It is more shiny and it is better when we have to make something like a rock.
Because it gives a shape immediately.
Right, right.
The
Yeah,
angles. Okay.
indeed, yes, indeed. And with glue, atlacol, where I mean the glue that it is very common for the woods, or many times we no, let's finish the previous. With glue and layers of gas, it's good, and then painting and all the other decorated things. If we have to make something, a surface that is not very shiny, like the surface of a trees, on the foam, we put the other foam, the foam we put around the doors. You know, this foam, I don't remember how it is. Foam, I know that.
With the gun, that you put it, not with the gun, with this tube.
Right. And that is, I take the 3 times the distance and the sizes of this. So we make this all the surface of a tree, and then with a knife we make the details of the surface.
Okay.
Yeah.
Very nice.
Well, this is also practices that you will find, and of course, the imagination of the stage designer, it's very crucial also here in order to find the right material for every kind of prop she wants to construct. Okay. Anybody else?
Can I have some question, please?
Of course, Brianna, yes.
Can you tell me if is this 3D printer much expensive than all the material we learn about today?
Yes, a 3D printer.
Do you know?
Yes,
if the 3D
it is.
printer is very expensive?
It is. But I never use anything from the. But I think that the 3D printer, it is for small, very small things to make, and to make fake, for example, probably a gun, not big gun, but you know.
Mr. KAMTSIS, excuse me for interrupting, because this is my area of expertise here.
Oh, yeah, really? Okay.
Yeah, foam props, and Boyan asked about the 3D printer. It's so much more expensive. Even to make like a fake gun, it can take up to maybe 200 to 300 euros only to make something. And this thing that it's much more frustrating, it's time. It takes an enormous time because you have to, you create everything using a digital program. And this digital program, to create something like this, you may design it for about from 50 to 100 hours only to design it.
How many?
And then,
how many?
Maybe 50 hours, 60 hours. Yes, you have to create every single component.
And be very precise.
Because afterwards, even if it's a small one, because I have a hobby making miniatures and dioramas, so I've worked with so many things for about 6 to 7 years now. And then after the 3D printer creates everything, you need to put everything together. Then you need to prime, then you need to paint. And Joanna asked before how to seal foam, for example, but sealing is the final step. And we sometimes use shellac, or we use particular varnishes to seal everything from water or from humidity, because paint it's a really big process. Only to paint it, to paint a big gun, you need days, because paint needs to be fully dry because before continuing. And that's really frustrating. 3D printing, it's extremely expensive. And for example, to make this dragon that we saw before, you need some thousands of dollars, and the 3D printer needs months to make it. And you don't need one, you need maybe 5 or 10, because they are limited, the sizes are limited. So for the neck of the dragon, it could take more than 300 different parts only for the neck. And you need to put everything together, and also you need to sand. So it's much more work, you need much more time, because foam, it's really easy to be carved, and it's very easy to be shaped. And Mr. KAMTSIS, I have to add something from before when you were talking. The electrical knife or the iron knife helps to engrave parts, and it doesn't create texture, but it stops, the mess when you are cutting things out.
Right.
But it's really easy to carve it. It needs time, but that's not a bad thing. It's not difficult. It's different for something to be difficult, and from something, if you have done it 1 or 2 times, you can create it again. And
right.
it's also, but you need to be a sculptor or to have sculpture techniques, because it's the same techniques almost as carving out of a wooden block or stone.
Thank you very much for the
Yes,
answer.
that's right. That's right. Why, Panos, do you have a 3D printer?
No, my friends have.
Oh, your friends.
But I'm
no, I just take an opportunity. Sorry?
I'm a lot into programs and creating and taking courses and learning about all this. Because 3D printing currently, it is used so much in filmmaking. And it's amazing. For example, I believe that everybody in here watched Black Panther.
Yeah.
Black Panther, when you see these elaborate African crowns and the jewels and everything, most of them are out of 3D printing, and then they add textures on it. And you can't create such a detailed work sometimes with materials. And it's also really lightweight.
Yeah.
And that's good. That's very good.
Yeah. That's right, yes. Anybody else? Okay.
I have a question.
Yes, please. Yes, sorry.
I have, let's see. Well, I have a question with the foam stones that we saw a bit some time ago. The actor who was standing on the stone stair kind of building. Foam has a big disadvantage. That is that it's very easy to collapse under pressure.
Indeed.
Because the creation of it, if a bit of air enters the foam, it's starting to crack. And it's really frustrating. How can this actor go up on a foam block of, let's say,
I will
rocks?
tell you. If we have a construction like this, we made something with wood. Put hoods inside in order to be more strong and to handle the weight of a man. Sometimes we make before a whole something like a bridge Now I am to the image that you referred to. Something like a bridge. You can see that. Make a bridge with wood, and we cover it with foam after that. Indeed, there is the danger to crack. Indeed.
I have seen it with putting wires and sticks inside of it, but still, it's really delicate under pressure.
Yeah, it is. It is.
But I don't know if there is any kind of strength and technique that someone can do on it.
No. With only the foam is the foam. So it is fragile in a way. We can do some things, but we cannot do other things. So if somebody is 80 kilos, for example, a step on a big thing like a broken bridge, for example, and wants to stay on this, we have to secure it with more strong materials. So we made something with something with a technique that I explained to you, with a platform, something like a platform with a particular shape like this, and we cover it with foam in order to make the sculpture and the aesthetic work on it.
So we make an armature.
I have seen that, but
Yes.
not with foam.
This is the better word. Yes, an armature. Yes, that's right. We made this.
I have seen it, but I know this technique, but not with foam. I've never seen it with foam.
Yeah. Yes.
So if this works, it's okay.
Yeah. Indeed. So to the next lesson, probably we will be in Brussels. Excuse me. I'm asking my wife. Θα είμαστε στις Βρυξέλλες την άλλη Δευτέρα που θα είμαστε. Δευτέρα στην Αθήνα. Okay. Next Monday we will be in Athens again. So we will not have problem. We will speak about the forms. Artistic thing. What do you mean? What we mean when we say we will make a stage designing naturalistic or realistic or surrealistic or many other meanings about this. We have to know this and how things like surrealistic, for example, how we can achieve it, to make it and to transfer to the stage designing with the materials we already mentioned about that. And probably I will find and send you one act play, famous, from Chekhov or other authors, just to read it and to discuss how we can approach and make a stage designing a scenery for a particular one act play, with starting, continuing and finish the story, a narrating story, and how we can achieve the mood, the atmosphere of this. And yes, I will send it to you. Probably if I find one, I have something in my mind of Anton Chekhov, but I don't know if I find it in English. I will see it, and if I find it, I will send it to you. It is the proposal for marriage, I think. Well, I don't know if you already know. I think that the Serbians must know this, okay? The Serbians who is familiar with the theater, yes, I think that it is very near to us. But it is a comedy, and you can read it with pleasure. Yes, Joao and Linda. Yes, please. Open your microphone. Your microphone. You have to open your microphone. Yes. Now yes, I can hear you. Please, tell me. What? Excuse me? Repeat it, please. But very near to microphone. I cannot hear you.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
Okay. We see the construction. I pretend to ask, this construction is more decorative, or we put in location strategic on the stage?
Well, we focus on theater. It means that there is a subject, there is an object, sorry, there is an object which we will use it. So somebody will take it, somebody will touch it, somebody will step on it, somebody will use it. Decorative things, it is something only to see. This is the difference between decoration and stage design. Also, if we speak about costume, I think that you mentioned it with Mrs. Panagu. This is the difference between fashion and costume design and a theater costume. Theater costume must somebody wear it and make some job, come and go and use it anyway. Fashion, it is just something to be beautiful. Okay, of course we use it, but when we see all this construction of the big creators of fashion like Gautier and Galliano and all this is not for somebody to wear it and go to the supermarket, for example. No, it is just to see, just for the spectacle. Costume for theater, it is something that we use it. So the same is with stage designing and decoration. But many times we take sculptures that we make with foam for theater and we put it somewhere just for decoration if we don't want to destroy it or to put it in another place.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Do I cover you? Do I answer you?
I don't understand.
Hello, do I answer you? Do you get your answer you want?
Yes.
Okay, thank you. Okay.
Mr.
Yes,
Nikos,
Pano, yeah.
I have three more questions.
Yeah.
The first is, if are you able to send us the links from the videos?
Yeah, of course. Of the recording, I mean.
No. The links from the videos that we watched in this class.
Okay, yes, yeah. I will.
Yeah, both with the link, because the links are really useful to take down more notes.
Yeah.
The second one is, what happens if we can't change props? Let's say that we are not in a very big theater like the Italian stage, and we need to change props and flats once in a while. Let's say that we are in a small theater, in a round, in a black box. What do we do in this instance? we just stop the play and people go out and change everything?
Well, if we have one production for 3 months, for example, and we don't have to change the scenery during these 3 months. That's what we mean.
No. I mean, while the play progresses, if we need to change the props and the scenery, how can we do this to have an impact and not, affect the viewer?
Η ερώτησή σου είναι αν πώς θα το αλλάξουμε.
Yeah.
If we have a small production, not a big one.
Yeah, small or medium production, doesn't matter. How can we change props if, for example, the first scene is in a yard of, let's say, huntsmen, and the second scene is near a lake, and the third scene is we have to fight with a witch, for example, in a forest. How can we change everything to have an impact on staging?
Yeah, well, I cannot give you a specific answer with this. I can give you a specific answer if I know other preferences. What theater is this? How big is this? What is the play? What is how many actors are there? But in general, in this case, that we don't have the opportunity to change the scenery in a blink of an eye, we made just one scenery, which is it's good for everything, and we make whatever we want after that with lighting. For example, we light just one side of the scenery, or the other one, or we isolate an actor, two actors who wants to speak mystically or secretly in one corner, and we put all the other in dark. Well, we have to find solutions like this. And yes, we use other things that we have. The lights, it's as you describe your question. This I can find at this moment. Lighting. Okay. What else? If we have a black box, for example, if we have a black box, and we have just 3 walls, one door from the one side, one door from the other side, and we cannot have the opportunity to make a blackout and take out this. The other thing, if we use for the scenery, for the main scenery foam, which is light and not very weight, we can make to the 2 parts of the foam. For example, we have to pretend that we are in a palace, in front of a palace, and we made something like a door from one side, and we want after that to change and to make something else from the other side, to be outside of the tower, for example. We can make a blackout for, I don't know, with the music, of course. Okay, and 2 men, 2 actors, 2 technicians to turn the other side to the, well, you know, everybody knows that it is a theater. Everybody knows that this is narration. Well, if we made something like a little noise, well, a mistake and everything, well, they excuse, because they know but they are in the theater. They are not in the real thing. If I want to pretend that this is the Palace of Buckingham, it's not the real Palace of Buckingham, but it is a fake Palace of Buckingham, and I'm just see a narration in the palace. Nothing more, nothing less. But anyway, the stage designer with the director can make changes like this. I remember once when I was an actor, it was the Red Island of Bulgakov, a Russian author, very good. And we want to pretend that a boat with some civilized people came in an island with well, savages, let's say. And it is only before we were somewhere else. We were in Europe. So the stage designer make a boat where we can step about 4 or 6, if I remember well, in the boat with a fabric there for wind and everything, in a way like just a moment, I can show you how he made. Let's say that this is the stage, okay? They make the boat like this, but this is not a boat. This is the bottom of the boat, of the boat, of the ship. And in one with weight up there, we the actors take the thing from this side and put it like this, and it was a bottom. So there is solutions for everything. This is my experience.
Well,
and
that's why
the third.
Sorry.
No, the third question, I think. Yeah. Okay, speak. Yeah.
No, I'm asking you all this question because I don't have experience with stages, and I need to know the more the better.
Yeah.
To know and planning everything.
Yeah.
No, the third is if you can give my regards to Mrs. Mika.
No, yeah, the regards of Mika. Yes, I will. And well, you will get a big experience if you come with Mika about September to participate to what
I will. She knows that we will be, a great team together.
Okay.
We know each other. Also,
Yeah,
I have to tell you that it was Mrs. Mika. She told me almost 2 years ago that if I have the opportunity to have a class in props, I need to do it because I had done a prop for one of her assignments and she really liked it.
Okay.
And it was my first time with a couple of hours. And I also have to say something else. We all have to thank Labrini for her assistance because she really helps every time we are having a class.
Okay.
And I believe that every one of us should thank her for that.
Okay.
Thank you, Panos. Thank you, my dear. Thank you very
Yeah.
much. You're so polite.
Anyway,
Thank you.
You are
well,
amazing.
I finally thank you very much for today. And I will see you next Monday. Okay? Thank you. Bye-bye, Pericles. Bye-bye, Milica, Andrea, Panos, Bojana, and
Good
Wagner, and Georgia is here, Anastasia is here, Joao and Elida, Magda, and Mia Vonduk. Bye-bye, Ioana.
Bye-bye.
Goodbye.
Bye-bye.
Bye.